Good morning. This is Jay Guerin, chairman of the CIO Forum. This is the first in a series of podcasts that I'm calling My Rolodex, where I'll be interviewing people from the Omaha IT community. This morning I have Cindy Reed from To Evolve. Cindy has been a major player. She's widely known in the Omaha and Lincoln space. She works with an inordinate amount of companies through her company, To Evolve, where she's the founder and chairperson and ultimate leader of the whole thing. Cindy, thank you very much for meeting with me this morning.
Thanks for having me, Jay.
You bet. Realistically, Cindy, how about you just tell us, a little bit about the founding of To Evolve, how you got started, a little bit of your history.
I've been in the IT space here in Omaha for, I hate to age myself, but for a little over 30 years. I started To Evolve, our IT consulting company, back in 2003, so it's been around a little over 22 years. What we do is we consult companies, mostly in the enterprise space, and we help them and their CIO, their CFO, and CEO understand what technology is out there, all the suppliers, what the best pricing is they can get. And it can be anything from on best contracts, it could be anything from what they need for SD-WAN or internet out there and who's the best. And it can be anything even globally. They can be a global company, or what they need for security, cybersecurity, who's the best, learning that, training that, AI governance. It can be, who has the best of any solution when it comes to phone systems or contact center and a variety of hosted IT solutions. And we pride ourselves on knowing that and having over 400 suppliers that we can go to make sure our customers have the best needs that meet their business needs.
That's a great answer. I've always looked at you as kind of the Swiss Army knife of technology. When we get a customer that they need something that, for instance, Palo Alto. I don't have in-house Palo Alto expertise, but I know that you can be my first call and you'll find me a resource or someone that I can partner with, which is incredibly valuable. From a customer perspective, I've noticed that, over time, customers change. We're now dealing with, I'll call them an intelligent customer, where in the early days, they would just throw up their hands and say, do this for me. But now the CIOs and CTOs are becoming more savvy in the technology space. What's your thoughts on that?
I think so. And I think, one of the things when I first started doing this, people would, one of our CIOs would come and say, hey, let's talk about hosted VoIP. What do I need? Maybe they had a couple locations, or maybe they even had MPLS and they wanted to understand as a bank, what's the best option for SD-WAN? And they really wanted to be educated. So we really did a lot of that, where we just get together with a bunch of smart people like Jay and his team, and we sit down with our smartest engineers, and now they're coming to us and they're saying, hey, I'm implementing AI. I've got some governance around that. I've got some plans and policies around that. What else can you give me to make sure I'm protected and I'm ready for AI and what the future is going to bring? So yeah, they definitely are much way ahead of the curve on that.
That's very true. Used to be you could walk in and you can sell them just about anything. Now they pretty much know what they want, and you have to take their story forward to a solution. In the Omaha area, one of the things that's always difficult for technology organizations is staffing. There's always a shortage of people. How do you feel about the Omaha job market and technology professionals?
So that's funny that you bring that up, because I know, Jay, you personally do a lot with that, especially on the Microsoft side and things that they might need there internally. But also, I've had a lot of customers coming to us, and we're talking some global customers where they're saying, hey, we can't find anybody to help with SAP. We can't find anybody to help with Oracle, or maybe a CISO or whatever they might be looking at. And we've been doing a lot with our current suppliers on bringing, engineering talent or CISO talent or whatever talent they might need to the table, and they're hiring them. They're hiring them maybe for a month, maybe for a project, maybe for a year, but it's working, and it's working for them because it's a big shortage. And I'm finding it not just in Omaha, but everywhere.
Well, from a consumer perspective, the companies that are looking for people, one of the things that I see is there's no longer a one size fits all, where you go find them a W-2 full-time employee, you place them, you get your 15% or whatever. Now it's full-time employees, consultants, consultant to hire, consultant for project, and what's always interesting is it's kind of situations make for creative solutions.
Right.
And you work with a company and you place a CIO over there as a consultant, consultant to hire kind of on a 6-month basis, try it before you buy it. 3 months they come to you and say, nope, we need to make them a full-time person right now. Or our budget just got ate up. We thought we budgeted for the year, but we did 6 months, so we can't afford these people anymore.
Exactly.
So you've really got to be agile when it comes to the placement business. So, so what are you thinking about AI? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing, I'm hearing a lot, right? We're seeing a lot, but let's face it, it's brand new. We all know everybody's learning it kind of at the same time. Our customers have even been teaching us a lot, which has been really exciting. But I do know one thing: we're working with vendors to get policies around it, to figure out what they're open to and what could hurt them, from HR to marketing to whatever it may be internally, their employees. And then we're bringing those plans to the table, the governance piece of it. So we're watching it, making sure they're protected. But as we go, that's the exciting thing, Jay. I know you know this too. Our clients, our CIOs are teaching us, a lot of where they need to be and what we need to be able to offer them.
One of the things I'm seeing is there are a lot of AI startup companies. And a lot of them are very specialized. There are AI companies that specialize in banking, the automotive sales place, just about everything. And their pop-up solutions is what I refer to them as. And I've been a little hesitant to incorporate AI in our software, our banking software space, and basically waiting for a lot of these little smaller boutique type of AI solutions to get acquired. I look at this like back in the day, the big term was data aggregation in the financial space. And everybody was coming up with a data aggregator or a personal financial manager or something like that. And ultimately, Intuit bought them all. Intuit was the company. And I'm looking for a similar situation where the big three, ChatGPT, Grok, all of those guys basically settle on this is the standard. And of course, you've got the folks over in China that they're going to do their own thing no matter what.
Exactly. Well, we've all seen that. We've seen that even with MSPs, 15 years ago or so. Everybody wanted to think they were going to be that, right? And then we watched it all get ate up, and the best ones stayed, and so it's another thing like that. I think we're doing a lot of education on that AI. We've got Dr. Matthew McCarville that's part of that. Dan Clark, who's the president of Truio, and we're learning as we go. What's the best thing? What's the best thing for the client? Do you need to buy a supplier that is just going to help you with this, or should you look at a supplier that is offering you a little bit, mostly everything? Because we want to really, you and I want to decrease this, the amount of suppliers coming to them and not increase those. I'm totally with you on that.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, and this has been more lately. You've got the super techie that worked for the company for 15 years, and he really handled everything for the company. And he said, "Well, this is enough. I'm going to hang out my shingle. I'm going to be an MSP." And they're an MSP of one.
We've seen that.
Then all of a sudden they realize that, well, I'm going to have to hire some help. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Now I've got to make payroll, and I've got to pay state taxes because the Department of Revenue. Do you know the guys, the agents down at the Department of Revenue carry guns? They actually do. And these poor one man shows, one person shows in the MSP space, they get overwhelmed, and then you hear from their customers.
Exactly.
Bob has been a good friend, but Bob isn't keeping up. So I find that I see it all the time.
Yeah.
So what's Cindy's future? What do you got going on?
I think the future is, the AI, the Chat GTP, the Groks. I think I use Grok 6-8 times a day. I don't even know, just for
Exactly.
fun. Some of it for business, but that is the future. I mean, you and I, Jay, we've been around so long. You've been around longer than I have. We've watched the data center, the VoIP, come around. We've watched, all the Microsoft changes, the Cisco's, the hardwares, and all that kind of stuff. And it's been very fun. I mean, that's the reason why we're doing this, because
Yep.
our brain needs that excitement, right, and that technology.
Very true.
And we need that changing, and we need it changing all the time. But I really think the future is, folks like us coming to the CIOs, working with their teams, making it much easier on them. Because most of my CIOs are like, hey, Cindy, and they're saying it to you too, we have 400 suppliers. And it's like, oh, well, let's start figuring out who you really need, who you don't. Let's whittle that down, give your IT people more space to be able to do the jobs that need to be done in your corporate world. And we spend a lot of time doing that, and that's really where we got to go with it.
I agree, 100%. Well, and that's a fabulous feature that you provide, is you handle the 400 suppliers. As a small business owner that owns an MSP, I don't want to have to deal with 400 suppliers. I have no time. I have no desire.
Yep.
And quite honestly, I'm getting older, so I get irritated easy.
Right, right. And all of our CIOs at the big enterprise companies, they're like saying the same thing.
Yep.
They might have a staff of 500 IT folks globally, right? And they're like, I can't be having my people. That's all they do all day long is talk to these
That's
folks.
all they do.
Let's whittle it down. Let's get your hours back. Let's save you money.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff you're saying. And frankly, we're just getting older, and we're done with it.
Well, the future's upon us.
Yep.
And I'm pretty happy that I got a good friend
Me too.
named Cindy.
Yeah, me too.
You
Named
solve a
Cindy.
lot of problems with me. And you know what, folks? Cindy can solve a lot of problems for you. So,
Thank you, Jay. I
anything-
greatly appreciate. Guys, I am super excited about AI. Let's get talking about that. Let's get talking about that as a team. Let's get talking about that in the CIO forum. And let us know if you need anything. And thank you for having me as a guest today.
I love it. As a wrap up, the Omaha CIO Forum, we are 350 members. We have a Lincoln CIO Forum that is growing. We have a golf outing this month that's at Tiburon. The Omaha CIO Forum is always free to its members. All you have to be is an IT decision maker within your company. You can join the CIO Forum. Again, everything's free. You can come to meetings, you can enjoy golf, you can enjoy whatever, again, free. This podcast it's brought to you by Midwest Cloud Computing. Midwest Cloud Computing is an MSP. We're big, we're exciting, and we're having a good time. So thank you very much. I look forward to you watching more of these videos. If you have any questions, you can call me at Midwest Cloud Computing 402-702-5000. Thank you, kiddo.
Thank you.